there. You might remember a little while back I asked friends of the show if they would be up for doing guest hosting for me because I was going to be going on vacation, and they did, and it was fantastic. Unfortunately, 2 days into our vacation, we lost a close relative, and I just stopped posting for a couple of weeks just because. But here's the thing. A lot of nice folks took time out of their busy schedule to record these guest host videos, so I don't want them to go to waste. So I'm going to share them with you. There's 10 of them, and then I'll begin posting regular Sandwiches of History videos again after that. Now keep in mind, when they record the videos, I was going on vacation, so you'll hear that referenced here and there throughout the videos. Just remember that it's what it was supposed to be, but not what it turned out to be. So today's guest host is just, I have to bow down before him. He is the godfather of sandwiches. He is the font of knowledge of all things sandwich. Check out his website, sandwichtribunal.com. He goes by Sandwich Idiot or Sandwich Tribunal, depending on what social media platform you're on. But he's a great guy and always fun to watch and great to listen to. Please welcome Jim.
Hi everybody, welcome to Sandwiches of History. My name's Jim Behymer, and I'm not the guy you'd normally see here, but I gotta tell you, I was so excited when Barry asked me to do a guest spot for Sandwiches of History that I asked him to give me tongue. And that's how we ended up with today's sandwich. The deviled sandwich from Mrs. Rohr's Sandwiches of 1912, which features a 1/4 pound of boiled tongue. Now, before you boil tongue, generally speaking, in the 19th, early 20th century, back when it was more common, you would cure or smoke the tongue to preserve it and then boil it to sort of rehydrate it, bring the salt level down and cook it and prepare it for eating. So I need to go back into the past to Jim from last week and ask him to cure a beef tongue. Jim? You know what? On second thought, we don't need to talk to Jim from last week. It was a weird time. He's got a lot going on. I say boiled beef tongue, but really what I'm doing is simmering it gently for a couple of hours with some aromatics. Between these aromatics and the pickling spices that have infused the meat, allspice, juniper, etc., my house smells like a very comforting mix of soup and gin during this process. Beef tongue has a rough, sandpapery surface, much like a cat's tongue, and needs to be peeled, which is easiest to do once it's been boiled while it's still hot. I'm also trimming off bits of the base of the tongue and some fatty parts as well. The recipe calls for chopping a 1/4 pound of tongue very fine, then mixing in 3 boiled egg yolks pressed through a sieve, a dash of red pepper, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and a saltspoon of paprika, which turns out to be about a 1/4 teaspoon's worth. We spread this mixture onto thin slices of bread and butter, then garnish with watercress before serving. And voila. All right, let's give this deviled sandwich a try. That's pretty good. It's not bad. The deviled corned beef spread, deviled beef tongue spread, isn't quite as in your face and salty as, say, Underwood deviled ham. And that pinch of cayenne pepper gets a little bit lost. Also, the peppery, almost mustardy, horseradishy kind of heat of the watercress in between the fattiness of the spread and the butter that's on the bread and the bulk of the bread itself gets lost a little bit. It's pretty good, but I do think we can improve it with a non-canonical ingredient or two. So I have this horseradish hot sauce I bought a while back and hadn't found a use for yet. I think it'll bring out some of those flavors I'm missing. Whoops, came a bit fast there. Anyway, you know what? I also just think this sandwich needs pickles. Okay, now let's give this deviled sandwich, potentially improved by the addition of non-canonical ingredients, a try. I definitely like the pickle in there. The crunch, the sour, the saltiness, it all complements the sort of smooth and savory character of the deviled tongue spread. Let's get a bite with some of that hot sauce in it. So that hot sauce is good. It's made with something they call nasal napalm, and talk about overselling things. But it definitely brings out some of that sort of chemical burn character, the real peppery, horseradishy element that's in the watercress. And, you know, also brings back some of the spiciness that I thought I was putting into the tongue spread when I put that pinch of cayenne pepper in there. So I'm not big on assigning an arbitrary numerical score to sandwiches, but that is the tradition here at Sandwiches of History. So this deviled sandwich with the deviled tongue spread and the watercress, I'll give that a 6.5. It's pretty good. I like it. I feel like the deviled tongue spread could have been a little bit more devilly, right? Like it could have been stronger in flavor, but I do like what's there. Improving it by adding some horseradish hot sauce and pickles, I think brings it up to a 7.5. I do like it. I like it a lot. And do I look like a guy that doesn't finish a sandwich? I mean, come on.